Well, hello again, and welcome again to another one of my how-tos. Well, yesterday I made a how-to. I usually create audio videos and upload them to different platforms. And I showed you how I did this, except that I had one problem. Well, I got to move this up. I don't know, for some reason, when I start my recordings, they always go way down and you can't hear them. Well, yesterday it was just the opposite. It went way up. So, well, anyway, now that I got it adjusted, and I use a program called PulseAudio, and that's what I'm using here. And it's like right now, you can see my recording. I'm using simple screen recorder, and my settings, I pulled up another one because I wanted to show you what my settings were. Let me just continue. The first thing is I've got it set on my blue microphone. Love that blue microphone, by the way. And 30 frames, pretty good rate. And so let's go to the next screen here. I use pCloud, and I set my pCloud, one of my directories, as my default. So if I go to that default right now, this is the default simple screen recorder here. It's actually, this is the file that it's creating right now. And let me just minimize that again. Okay, I can kind of shut this off. We don't need to see that for now. And so I got it going into that directory. I pretty well left everything the same, except that on here it was saving it as a WebM, and I set it to an MP4. I like MP4, and that's where it uses the H.264 code C, and I leave the bit rate at 128. And then when I go to continue, this is where you would start it. And if you noticed, I'm recording for 2 minutes now. So this, I can shut this off. That's all my settings. So that's what you're looking at here. So I'm going to minimize this just to get it out of the way. Okay, now I can actually start my how-to. What I do is I create a blank Google Doc. That's the first thing I start out with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recording on postmodernism and the emerging churches. So I'm just going to copy the title here. And I'm going to go over to my files. And I am going to go and create a directory folder and paste that name in there. Okay, now that I got it created, I can actually open the blank up, go to my working directory. That's what I'm in right now. And I'm going to do is I am going to create, first of all, a cover, just like you'd create a cover for a book. Let me just close this tab, and I'm going to open a new tab here, and I am going to just do a quick search, see if there's any graphics, first of all, on postmodernism. Just go to images. All right, see if there's something that I can use here. I don't really see a whole lot here that I like. Just kind of looking through this. I guess I don't really see much that I'd want to use. We're in No, nothing that I like. Okay, so now let's go to a website here. I have a tab here, tools I use online, and here's where I create my book covers. I'll log in. I'll do a search for book covers. Okay, now I could find a book cover that might suit me. Yeah, let me look here. See if anything jumps out at me here. I tell you what, nothing's jumping out at me. So let's go to create a blank cover. We'll create one right from the very beginning. The first thing I want to do is I want to pull in a background. Now I got to find a background that suits me. Nothing fancy. Yeah, let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too plain. I don't want it too fancy. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's use this one. All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to pull in the title. And we already got it saved in a clipboard, so I just paste it. That looks pretty good. We can move it up to the top here. Yeah, we could probably fancy it up somewhat here. Let's maybe do a italics. And I don't think I need to change anything else. The color's all right. Everything's okay. Let's just leave it at that. Then I want to add the author. It's by David Dunlap. And I can take and move that to the bottom here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's just save it. I should say download it. And I want to download it as a PNG file. I'll show you why in a minute. Download it. And I'll put it in our working directory. You can see it came out here. Okay, that's pretty well done. I can close these tabs off. Let's close this off. That's my wallpaper. Okay. Now that I got it created, I want to size it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it with Gimp. Okay. And I know what size I want it, so I'm just going to scale the image. I got to cut it in half. It's at 1410. I'm going to make it 705. And it'll automatically change that bottom number to 1125. And I'll scale it. Okay, now I want to overwrite that file. Overwrite that file that I just created in there. All right, now I got that the right size. And in order to upload it as an audio, I need to resize it one more time. And I want to unlock this because I don't want to keep the proportion. I'm going to make it 1200 by 1200. And I'll scale it, okay? Kind of like a postage stamp. And then I will export it this time. I'll leave it the same name, but I'm going to save the extension now to a JPG. And I'm using hotkeys to do all this, so now I'm going to quit. And there we are. Now I have the two files created that I need. And let's just move this to the other screen. Now let's open OBS, because that's the one I use to make the recording. And this is the cover, image 3. I just never changed the name. And I'm going to edit that. And I'm going to go find that file. And there it is right there. And I'm going to open it. There it is. Okay, there's our cover. Now, there's another how-to video out there. I didn't make it, somebody else did. Fade in, fade out in OBS. That's all you got to search for, and you'll find it. Okay? Now, on the Scene tab, I got full screen here. If I go to the Edit, or I shouldn't say Edit, right mouse click on it, go to Filters. I have 3 filters. Color correction. This is the color correction one. If you see this tab here, watch it fades in, or fades out, fades in, fades out, fades in. This is the only setting that I have to save. And there is a filter, and it's an add-on, and I added in there, and it's called Move Value. Okay, and I created a Move Value, and when I created it, I just changed the name, Fade Out and Fade In. Now, if I go to the Fade Out, all I did was, by the way, I had to add color correction. And in the color correction that we just looked at, this is the only thing I want to change. So when I go to fade out, I use color correction in a single setting. And this is the setting I'm going to change. And I'm going to go from 0 value to 3,000. You can set it at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, depending on how fast you want it to zoom in and zoom out. And on the fade in, I start at 1, which is full value, so it's all the way up. And I want to fade in, or it's all the way down, I should say. And I want to come all the way up. And this one I set at 2,000. So it fades in a little slower, but fades in a little faster and fades out a little slower. And that's how I got it set. So that's all. That's very simple to do. So now what I did is on that setting, full screen, I'll go to Settings. And under Settings, I'll go to Hotkeys. And I created a hotkey. Let's find that setting for that scene. And it's called full screen. Here's end screen. There's full screen right there. And when you create those, what it does is it creates these entries. So fade out, I just hit the control key and the number 3 key, and it'll fade out. And then to fade in, I hit the control number card. See, it's one above the other, so I can go back and forth. Now watch what I do when I hit the fade out. I'm going to fade out, which is that control 3, and there it fades out. And control 6, it fades in. You see it came in faster, goes out slower. Comes in faster, goes out slower. Okay, I'll leave it off for now. Okay, now what I have to do is I'll create this video, but before I do that, I need to go back to my browser, and I have to go to my working directory, go to that blank Google Doc, and I'm going to have to do is pull this all in. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pull this in. I'm going to do a copy. And I'm just going to paste it right into here. Okay. Now, I do some editing on here so it reads it right. The first thing I want to do is I want to take this title and I'm going to put it in the title of the document. Just by clicking on that, it copied this over. Now, in order for it not to show up twice, I got to take and get rid of that, okay? So now it'll only show up once. Now, I'm going to do some editing on here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video for a minute, because you don't have to watch me do all this editing, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I got all my editing done. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I want to take and go to the file menu, go to share, and I'm going to publish this document to the web. So I'll go publish, I'll say OK, and I'm going to copy this URL, and I'm going to go over here to an Edge browser that I got running here, and I'm going to paste that URL in the URL address bar. Hit enter. No, it didn't do it here. Paste. It's not changing. What the heck's going on there? Do a copy. Paste. There it is. Finally changed. Okay, so I got the document in here. Now, up in the address bar, they got a little, looks like an open book icon, and that's the reader that they have in the Edge browser. So I'm going to click on that. Now it changed the document around so it'll read it. You notice there's a little thing that says read out loud. So I can close this off, close my working directory, minimize this. Now I'm back in the OBS. Now what I'm going to do, you will not hear this recording while I'm recording it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pause the video, create the file by clicking on start record, and then I'm going to do is the hotkey, and I'll come in and go out, and then I'm going to change from the image to the Edge browser, and then I'll fade in and I'll fade out again while I'm recording. And this will show up in my recording, and afterwards I'll show you the recording when I'm done. Meanwhile, I am going to pause again, and I'll be right back to show you the video after I create it. Okay, I'm back, and I have completed the creation of the video, and I'll show you a preview of it. But before I do, I have to show you one other thing. I'm going to open my PulseAudio volume control again. And before I can actually, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to open this up, drag this over here, and let's rename it. That's this file right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go rename so I can copy the title of this, and I'm going to copy it over to the title on this. So I'll go rename and do a paste, rename, and there it is. So these three files are my working files right here that I will use to upload. Okay, now in order to play this video for you and have you hear it, I have to make one change over here in my volume control, my PulseAudio control. And if you notice, this is the volume that I'm recording at, and I'm using my Bluetooth. Now before I click on this, I'm going to change this setting right here. I'm going to change it to the Bluetooth microphone audio volume control, and I think it will work. I know I tried this and it didn't work. So as soon as I click on this, you're going to lose my voice, but you will hear the volume on the recording. So let's try it once. I'm going to change this and then click on that recording. Well, I'm back again. Apparently, I screwed up when I recorded it, so I'm going to have to re-record it again. I don't know why how I did that, but I did. So I'm just going to delete this, move to trash, and I'll minimize this. And I'm going to have to pause you again and recreate that video, and I'll be right back. I do this once in a while. I'm just kind of stupid sometimes. I must have clicked the wrong button. So let me pause and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And actually, I got the recording now, so I'm going to try playing it. And again, like I say, I have to switch from my microphone so you can hear the recording. So let me try switching and I'll try playing it.
Postmodernism and the Emergent Churches by David Dunlap. Today the Church faces a threat far greater than the anti-supernaturalism of the 18th century rationalists and deists, potentially more damaging than the persecution under Islam or communism, and more cunning.
Okay, I switched it back. Now, this PulseAudio control is nice because I can switch back and forth. But we now have a good recording. So now the next thing I'm going to do is, let me close this off. The next thing I'm going to do now is upload that file to a number of different sites. So with that said, I'm going to go to my video tab here. And the first one we're going to do is YouTube video. So let's upload that video. Okay, just drag it over, drop it. Okay, and now I got to name it. And I'll just do a Control V, hotkeys. So I have the title in there now. And I got to put an article number in there, so what I have to do is go to my working directory and get that. It's 3389. So go back here. $33.89. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, let's copy the title now, because we're going to have to do this in a couple different sites now. So I'm going to go to Anchor, add a new episode, and grab that video, and I'm going to convert it to an audio. And take a minute here. Okay, now it's uploading it. That video is 13 minutes and 28 seconds long. Now it's processing it. So now I can go to Bitchute. This happens once in a while with this site. I just got to keep doing it until I get it here. I'm not sure why it does this, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reload it. Try it again. There we go. It's just a fluke in their website. I'll paste the title and I'll drag the video. I'll let it load. It takes a couple of seconds. Now I want to get a thumbnail for a cover. Okay, and we'll grab that thumbnail. There it is. Give it a minute to load. Good to go. This is red, and then I got to redo it, but it's green, so we're good. Now let's go to Rumble, and we'll upload it to Rumble. Again, we'll just paste the title, and we'll drag that over. And now I'll grab the thumbnail, put that in here, add some tags, put it in a, what do you call it, a channel. And then I'll come back to my YouTube. And also I have to put a thumbnail there. And I have to select some playlists. And I will put it in 4 different playlists there. I put it in David Dunlap's writing, my messages from God's Word, and miscellaneous Christian writing. Take a minute to... There they are, all 4 of them. Done. Now we'll go to the... back to Anchor. And let's save the upload. We'll paste that title in here. Now we have to give it a description. I've got a description in YouTube, so I'll just copy that and come back over here and we'll do a quick paste, plain text. And now we'll come over here and back to Bitchute and put it in here. And let's process it. Okay, it's uploaded. There it is right here. Okay, now let's go to Rumble. We'll paste that description in here. We'll upload it. Go to Video Management. I just got to put a check mark in here. Now let's come back. I got to do one more thing before I can publish it in Anchor. I have this link to the article. So I'll do a copy and I'll paste it in the link field, paste, open a new tab. Okay, there it is. Now, the 12 by 12 that I made, right here it is. That's the one I got to put in here. Save it. We're almost done with Anchor. Now I publish it. I don't need a... Okay, there it is. That one's done. Now, the last thing we have to do is I have to grab the... copy the link to this video. It's copied. And then go to next, 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 and publish it. Okay. Now it's published in YouTube. Now let's come back over here to Rumble, and I'm going to paste that URL in here and then submit it. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Ugetube, and I'm going to go to import, and I'm going to import it from YouTube. So I'll paste the URL, I'll fetch it, I'll come here and select the category, and then publish. Okay, and then the last thing is I will add it to a couple playlists here. And that's pretty well done, and I'll just go back to manage videos, and there it is. So I got it in Ugetube, Rumble, Bitchute, YouTube, Anchor, and Anchor will submit it to a number of different sites one of them being Spotify, and there'll be others, the ones that I chose when I set it up. Basically, that's it. We're done. I can minimize this, minimize this, minimize this, minimize this. Okay. Now let's open up our simple screen recorder. So I got a 30-minute video, the how-to video. With that said, I am going to save it, and it'll stop the video, and I'll be able to post it so you can watch it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.